Hello and welcome to Liverpool City Region Creating Careers. Today's video forms part of a special series of Creating Careers, showcases lots of different job roles within Keepmoat homes. We've got here with us now Chloe Carruthers. Chloe is a customer care coordinator. Hi Chloe, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
So students, before you begin today's video, make sure you have completed the pre-work that comes with this series. There is one piece of pre-work that you need to complete, and then once you've done that, you can watch all the different short videos highlighting different roles within Keepmoat. If you need to access that pre-work, go to the description below. There you'll find all the links that you need. Okay, so Chloe, we'll start off with could you give a quick overview of what your role is at Keepmoat, please?
Yeah, I work for Keepmoat is a large house building company in I deal with the northwest area, and we deal with the aftercare within the 2 years of them moving into the property. We deal with all the queries and repairs, maintenance of aftercare.
So what do you love most about your job at Keepmoat?
I love the variety of different things that I do on a daily basis. No 2 days are ever the same, and I'm always learning different things every day.
Brilliant. So when you talk about variety, obviously we like customer care and aftercare, basically, the meaning after they've purchased a home. What kind of queries would you get in from a customer?
Just basically issues that they've got with the property, things that they weren't informed of on when they got the house, when they were handed over, such as how to work the boiler, how to deal with all the different paperwork and stuff they've got to fill in, just general queries really, and anything that's wrong with the house, we will then go and inspect it and make it right for them.
Amazing. So if anything at all, they've got any issues with the house once they've bought it, you're their first point of call.
Yeah, I am.
Brilliant. So on the flip side of that then, what would you say is your biggest challenge in that role?
My biggest challenge is dealing with different customers and different expectations. As you know, everyone's different and everyone has different expectations as well. And sometimes it is just a little bit challenging to know how they feel. So you just have to kind of put yourself in their shoes and, go from there.
So by that, I assume that you mean sometimes some customers may be a little bit passionate.
Yeah,
or
very
angry
passionate
about what they're talking about, and you have to maintain your composure and your
it's just kind of gauging how to work with that customer and how to deal with them appropriately. Obviously you'll have customers that are really, really nice and just get on really well, but then you'll have quite more difficult customers that are really difficult.
And you then would have to figure out how's the best way to communicate
to go about it.
Calm them down. Tricky job, it's a skill. So actually, speaking of that links us on to our next question. So what skills would you say are most essential in your job?
I would say organization skills, only because you've got to kind of be really organized for your day to run smoothly. Any little hiccup or anything can like throw the whole day off or the whole week maybe, and like I do that many different things as a coordinator, that I have to be really organized, and also just being empathetic towards the customers as well. If they are having a little bit of a bad time or whatever, you do need to kind of help them in that perspective. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, playing into communication skills.
Yeah.
Knowing how to adapt. Fantastic. So when did you know this is what you wanted to do?
I didn't really.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that it's what I wanted to do, because I feel like when you're younger, no one really knows what they want to do. So, well, I mean, some people do, but for me, I kind of was in and out of jobs a little bit till I found what I wanted to do. But I'd kind of always worked in like quality control or like social housing, and yeah, I kind of applied for the job, and then it wasn't what I expected. I thought it was more of like a call center role, and it turned out to be more of a more a job with like more responsibility, which I like. I kind of like that. It's kind of like they're my customers.
Yeah. And I think that's, we've mentioned this in one of the other videos. I think that's important for students to know, that it's not always necessary that they know exactly what they want to do. You know, you
No,
don't need an answer yesterday, do you? But
no,
it,
absolutely not.
yeah, it's
It
just
sometimes
important.
takes people like a lot of time to figure out what they want to do. Like I'm 28 next year, and I was in and out of jobs for a little bit, not knowing what I kind of wanted to do. I do beauty on the side as well. Like yeah, so it does take a while. It's not one of them things where you automatically just know. So
Yeah, and I think it's just about actually experimenting, being patient, but actually
yeah,
making an effort to research and find things out.
yeah, well that's it. I think patience is definitely a good one, because like I would say, at least if you're fortunate enough for someone to give you a job opportunity or a head start in something that you don't need experience for, then I'd definitely say take it, because and at least stay in there for 6 months, because you never know, you might end up liking it.
Yeah, definitely. So just before we go on to our next question, you mentioned there in your answer that the role you expected it to be like a call center,
Yeah,
but it actually has more responsibility than that.
yeah.
What are the extra responsibilities?
So basically you have to, when something comes in, you have to like look after that for a while. You have to obviously, when you speak to that customer, you have to make sure that everything's sorted for that customer. I can't just take the call and then pass it over to someone else. Like,
Okay,
it's my job and my responsibility to make sure that that customer's happy. So it's like keeping hold of the issues, or seeing it through to completion. And
brilliant.
I thought it'd be more of like a call center thing, which I'm glad that it wasn't, because I've worked in call centers before, and personally, I just like having a little bit more responsibility.
Yeah. So you're taking your customers on a journey, really. So when you're talking to them, you're talking to that same customer. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you kind of building a relationship with them, and then
Yeah,
like if they do ring, like it's not like you're asking other people like what's going
yeah.
on with this, like because you've dealt with that customer from the start. So yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. So, lastly, what advice would you give your younger self at the start, when you were in school or at the start of looking for jobs? What advice would you give yourself?
Um, Listen and learn as much as you can. Um, Take as many opportunities as you can. And I'd also say don't just focus on one thing, because you might find that you do like other things as well, but you're kind of too complacent in your role that you get first. So personally, I'd say to do courses and other things that are not like your job, things that are different, and then you never know, you might end up liking that thing better than the one that you're in now, and it's always something to fall back on if anything happens.
Amazing. I like that you said listening. I think it's a really important skill that sometimes people forget about. It
Mm,
is
yeah,
just so important to listen
it
to
is.
people and listen to what's being asked of you, or listen to, someone who's
Yeah,
giving you some advice.
yeah, and be patient as well, and never like just settle, because a lot of people do tend to settle, and they get quite complacent. They end up being there for years and years, and there's nothing wrong with that. But personally, I just want better
Yeah.
for myself.
So just for the students' sake, obviously by complacent, I'm guessing you mean someone would get into a job maybe, and just because it was easy,
But
they may
because it was,
stick to it
yeah, yeah,
rather than what challenges them and what's the best career path for them.
yeah, and not pushing themselves to do better, or not pushing
Yeah,
themselves to go any further.
yeah, amazing. So thank you so much, Chloe. I
You're
really,
welcome.
really appreciate you coming on today, and there's lots of amazing pearls of wisdom there for the students, and I know they'll have found it useful. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Great. So students, if you've got any questions about anything that Chloe has spoken about today, or any questions in general about Keepmoat homes, send them into careershub@growthplatform.org, and we will get them answered for you. Don't forget to complete the Creating Careers roadmap after this session, the Creating Careers Keepmoat edition of the roadmap. There you'll be able to evaluate your interest in all the different job roles that have been on offer in this series. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode of creating careers.